Hi everybody. Today we are going to learn and will be translated from Jewish, from Hebrew, Proverbs 31. There it is. We are going to go in verse 10 to verse 31. And it's about a wife of noble character. This is recited by his husband and wife. The wife recites Psalm 112 over the husband in a Jewish, community in their family. And the husband recites Proverbs 31 from verse 10 to 31 over the wife to bless each other. When Jewish, they celebrate Shabbat, which is Friday evening, when they start praying, eat together at the table as a family, and then dedicate themselves or their time Saturday till Saturday evening, from Friday evening to Saturday evening, spending time with God, worshiping, reading the Bible. They go to the synagogue. So that's their culture. So because it's Valentine tomorrow and also it's going to be Mother's Day, I want women to be blessed with this. And also men can recite this over their wives. But I am going to go into much deeper understanding about this Proverbs 31. All right, so there we go. So I'm going, each verse, one is going to be English, the other one is going to be the translation from Hebrew. So we go with 10, verse 10. A wife of noble character, who can find? She's worth far more than rubies. So we go translation from Hebrew. A wife, so if a wife is a married woman, or it can be just a woman or just a female. It doesn't have to be necessarily a married woman. So it can be any of those. If you're not married, so that's fine. You can still be blessed. The noble character here defines, she is like an army in strength, in ability, in efficiency. She has like a might. Is like a mighty power and wealth in her. Who can meet, encounter, who can find, and who can attain? She is valued like a high price for a way distance, more than jewels. And also it says precious stones or corals or rubies. Verse 11. This English part, her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. Translation, her honor, husband is also, it's here portrayed as husband, honor, and Lord. So these three, Lord is not the Lord Jesus, because we are in the Old Testament, you have to think about that. And it's with the lower case L. And it's not, the husband is not her owner, but it could be, if in other verses or any other parts in the Bible, it could be used that the same word is also an owner and Lord. But in that time, could call, it's like Lord is more like, they call their husband in old time as a, respect, as a word of respect, like she is respecting him. So her husband trusts her with his own heart, like with his mind, will, and emotion, where it makes like the soul, which is called heart, understanding her without diminishing his trust in her, which he is trusting her totally, is what it's trying to say here. Verse 12 English, she brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. Hebrew translation, she recompense, reward, repay him in a kind, pleasant, appropriate, prosperous, and of moral good, agreeable in a good way, not malignant like cancer, not in the wicked way, not like in a misery or giving me injury or wrong, not in distress or bad and hurt, is giving him, none of those all the days while she is alive. Verse 13, English, she selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. I always question this. Why wool and has to do with flax, like flax seeds? You put in, you can bake, you can put in the food and all that. But I was surprised. This was a very surprise when I got into the Hebrew. She seeks God in prayer and in worship. Has nothing else to do with the wool and all that, and worship in whiteness of linen. So she dressed herself up in white linen when she's worshiping and praying to God and seeks God's face. It could be also when she's worshiping in white signifies that her has a pure white heart also. And accomplish, she can have her desire with her hands, like willingly she does that with her hands. She works and accomplish, like do things with her hands with pleasure, purpose, delight, and desire. Okay, so we find out that she is a worshiper and praising God and all that. She seeks her God's face. Wow, I was like, what? 14. This is English part. We read from the Bible, and it's like I will try to put it that you can see it. I'm not sure you can see it. She's like the merchant ships bringing her food from afar. Translation: she become like a ship that travels. She enters, leads people. It could be her servants, and travels to get the bread, food from a far country, from the distance, or whenever she needs to provide for her family, she goes. It doesn't matter. She can go long distance. And it's what it's pretty much. She brings food from afar. 15, English. She gets up while it is still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. 15 is the translation. She arrives, she stand up while it's still nighttime, or could be like a season. Night means here also season. She devote herself and give meat or spoil food to her house, including the animals. So this is specified that also the animals are included. And something specific is like a prescription it gives to her female maids. As I said, prescribed. Here's the translation is prescribed to her female maids. 16, English. She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. 16 is the translation. She has thoughts and consider with purpose a land. It could be a country as well, but to buy a country, I don't know how that works, but then it also says a field to cultivate. She's considering, and she's thinking for a field, but then she goes and buys it. It takes it, and from the fruits of her field, she plants her fruits. Like whenever she makes it, like she plants trees, for example, and then gathers all the money from there. With those money, she plants vineyard. Wow. So with the money, so she gets, then she plants to make like grapes or wine. you know. 17, English. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her tasks. Translation, she girds. What it means prepare herself. That is an English translation here. Prepare herself for action with all her might. So girds is prepare herself for action. But then back to Hebrew, with all her might, strength and power is like a material and physical and personal, like all this power that she has. With her arms, strength, being alert, bold, courageous, brave, superior, persistent, and strong. Woo! 18. She sees that her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. Translation, she perceives that her gain, her profit, also says traffic as well, is good, is rich, is prosperous, and her lamp, it could be that light, I'm not sure what lamp they had in that time, her light, her candle, probably they had more candle, is not quenched, is not extinguished at night or in the season. We'll go on 19. 19, English. In her hand, she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with her fingers. Translation, she stretches out her hand for distaff. It's something that they do with when they buy wool. They have like a spindle, like it was in the old time. They do it, they didn't have like a whole factory right now, like they have it right now. They did it with their hands. So she stretches out her hand for this stuff and holds and grasp the wear of spindle. So refers like how she's making actually with her hands. This is a lot of work to make from the wool. Just say the wool, it's not like in the thread, like in the yarn. She makes the yarn herself from the whole wool. When it gets cut and washed and all that, she makes from that. She puts it together and makes a yarn from that. 20. This English. She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. Translation, she stretch out her power, her hand, her spoon, her palms, like the palms when you think like lifted up like that, when you can give or you can receive. To the afflicted, to the needy, the poor, the weak, the lowly, the humble, and her hands. It says also like time. Her hands could be time, her time. Because imagine, it's not like she's spending time with the poor. It's not necessary with her hands, but it says is the translation want her hands and time as well, which she spends time with them. Strength, power, and sends it away to the oppressed, to the abused, like it was abused. Deliver them from trouble, as is in the translation is delivered by God. She helps them get delivered from trouble. And refer to the needy, which is a low class, needy in want and poor. So she's helping them, stretching out her hands, like in the palms, like trying to, reach them and get them out from trouble, like God delivers them. She is helping them that way. Wow. 21, English. When it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. Translation, when it snows, she's not afraid or be of fear of terrible things, for all her household, including her descendants, like the generation that comes after her, even like children and grandchildren, are fully clothed, wearing scarlet or crimson, which signifies scarlet more like the blood of Jesus. It's like a protected with that. It's more like a protection. But here's also giving me the that scarlet to make that color to put in that wool. You get it from an insect. It's called Coccus ilicis, and that gets dried. And the process of that, it makes it like a dye that it comes like scarlet. So it's a process. It's not just, but she knows, she learns, she understands, she learns, she knows all those, how to make that color. And she makes it, and they're all clothed. 22, English. She makes covering for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. Translation. She prepares, produce, do or make, work, fashion. She makes like spread and covering for herself. It doesn't say for the bed though. Her garments, apparel, clothing are made of bleach white. Baisus is more like a white for Egyptian is a word in like Egyptian word like baisus. And she makes all that with bleach white and red, purple or purple. So when I looked into the red purple, what it means is a reddish purple made from some species of shellfish found in the shore of Mediterranean Sea. So to make that color red purple, which is rare, she knows where to search, where to go, what to do. That's why it's like she's coming from afar. She goes and travels and brings all these at home and makes all these that with the color dyes her garments. 23. Her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. Her translation, that was in English, and we go in the translation. Her husband, again, is the owner, the Lord. Is also like a man is known, considering the gate of the marketplace, city gate, when and specify where they judge. So the husband is very well, this man is very well known, her husband, in the city gate marketplace where they judge. So he is well known there where they make the judgments and they sit. When he sits, there you go. When he sits, remains with the elders in authority in the country, or could be the country, but territory, land, tribal territory, or earth. So he is placed with the elders in authority, and that could be like judging people, making like exchanges and all that is in legal way. So he is more like a judge, and he is with the elders, like pretty much all the elders will be placed for that. Because why elderly? Because they have more wisdom, and seems like can be a very respected man and young, but then it also is placed among the wise in authority and to judge. 24. English. She makes linen garments and sells them and supplies the merchants with sashes. Translation. She fashions, produces, makes linen. It's like a wrapper. They say like a wrapper is a rectangular wrapper, piece of fine linen worn as an outer or at night as a sole garment, and she sells them and give or puts or sets the Canaanites, the trader. So I specify the Canaanites here. So she makes with those people, she sells them to them, which they consider the trader, with girdle. Girdle is like an apron. So he was giving me sashes in English there, but in the translation is pretty much girdle, like an apron. 25 English. Let me see. Can you see it here? She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. All right, so here we're on this page here. The last ones. Translation. Her clothing, garments, apparel are of might, strength, glory, beauty, honor, splendor, excellency, majesty. She can play an instrumental music as well. Sing, dance, laugh at the future. So what I say, she plays, sings, laughs, and she doesn't care about the future because she's not afraid about that. 26. She speaks with wisdom and faithful instructions is on her tongue. Translation. She opens her mouth in wisdom. Refers to the religion, when it's like wisdom, like it's talking about God and all that is the wisdom reflecting the religion. And the law, direction, instructions of mercy and kindness, goodness is on her tongue. And then here specified tongue of fire. Wow. She's like a tongue of fire. Fire is the Holy Spirit, but she has a tongue of fire. And also it's like speaking in tongues is called tongues of fire as well. 27 English. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness, which is laziness. So, translation, she looks out like a watchman over the ways of her household and does not devour, eat, or consume the bread or the food of laziness. Wow. So she's not lazy, like sitting there and then, like she is working, doing things. 28 English. Her children arise and call her blessed. Her husband also and he praises her. Translation 28. Her children and grandchildren specific that their children and grandchildren arise up and bless her, make her happy. Also her husband, who is on her Lord, praise her, glorify her, make her shine by saying. 29 English. Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Translation. Great and many daughters, doesn't say women, but daughters, have done like an army with ability, strength, efficiency, might, wealth. But you ascend, you rise up, you excel, you climb up above all of them. Wow. 30. English. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. And here's the translation is elegance, a form of appearance referring to a woman, like charm is a fraud, or is a wrong, is deceitful, is a lie, is a disappointment, is a falsehood, false tongue, deception. And beauty is vapors like a breath, and is in vain. But a woman, a wife, or a female who fears Jehovah or Yahweh, he has like a name of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is to shine, to be glorified, and to be praised. 31, the last one is English. Honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gate. And the translation, give her the fruits that she produced with her hands, and make her shine and be praised, glorified by her work in the gates, in the city, and in the marketplace. It specifies marketplace. The marketplace, when the exchange of the goods, it's like a farmer's market, but it also is when they have the judging and all that rules, and it's more than just marketplace, like exchange of like I give you apples, you give me eggs or so forth, is like by judging as well. That's why the city gate is the gates when they come in and out from different city or different country, comes in through the gates, those specific gates. All right, so saying that, all the translation, everything is done. So we are done with Proverb 31 that we got, verse 10 to 31. I did enjoy just to know that with this proverb, God's actually honor women, and doesn't have to be women, it's be like just a female. He loves them, and through this proverb, I feel that God is into this so much, is honoring, is praising the woman for all what she's doing. And as you can read over your wife, you can read this to your mom, praise her with this psalm, and you got a translation now. Or as you can use it as a Mother's Day gift, like and reveal who actually she is, how much she done for you. I hope this helps, and I hope you enjoy this as much as I enjoy it. And saying that, we're closing here, and till I see you next time, I say you goodbye. Bye now.